Producer Joe is talking to someone. I believe we are
Thumbs
good
up.
to go. Christian Bale, welcome to the Free Bear and Hot Wings Show. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well. How are you?
Very good. We're excited to talk to you. Of course, the new movie Harsh Times opening this weekend. Yourself, Eva Longoria in it. And it's a tough weekend to open because that Will Ferrell movie coming out, but yours looks very good. Can you give people a rough synopsis of what they're looking at?
Well, it's a crazy, intense movie. It's bloody funny, and it's also really uncomfortable. It's kind of about timeless topics of kind of friendship, but it's set on the streets of LA with myself playing a character called Jim. He's a white boy, but who kind of has been fostered by the Chicano culture in LA, what they would call a pinchuero, and he's also an Army Ranger who's just getting back from Iraq. So he's a pretty dangerous character, and it's topical because on a serious note, it is topical. This guy is suffering. He's in denial about it, but he does have PTSD. And we ain't saying this is a generic experience, but it certainly isn't rare.
Yeah.
With what's going on right now. But it's also timeless about the friendship and just the crazy crap that people get up to and the things that they. It's a crazy few days whilst this guy looks to get a job in LA, but can't help but kind of kicking back and smoking out and drinking and fighting on the streets.
When you say it's uncomfortable, do you mean because of just awkward interactions with characters in the film?
Because of witnessing, it's like witnessing a train wreck. It's mesmerizing.
Oh, that's right up our alley.
You don't want it to happen, but ultimately that no good is going to come.
Oh yeah, I like movies like that. Of course, Harsh Times opens this weekend, and Christian Bale joins us. Batman Begins and The Prestige. Myself and producer Joe just saw The Prestige a couple weeks ago. Actually saw it the opening weekend. Fantastic as well.
Yeah, no, it is. It's a bloody good movie.
You must be making You must be making bank, Christian. All these movies. Good grief.
I should be speaking with somebody about that. It's a good point. I should be.
No, you don't. You spend every penny. You spend it. That's what it's there for.
It is good times
for
you.
Listen. What I tell you though, talking of spending money, the guy that made Harsh Times, and it's kind of based on him. He's the guy who wrote Training Day, and he actually the whole movie was financed out of his back pocket. He remortgaged his house for it.
Kidding.
He could have done this through a studio, but he chose that it meant too much to him. He didn't want anybody telling him this how to make this story.
That's right.
Wow. I mean that's as independent as you can get.
Yeah.
And I just loved it, the fact that someone was willing to take that kind of risk on a movie.
That's what I was going to say. When somebody comes to you with a movie like that, and they obviously believe in it enough to risk their own dollars,
exactly,
that has to be a pretty good sign before you even open the script.
Right, it's either Looney Tunes time or you got something special.
So you're telling me that if someone, like when you get a guy like this, who's doing this the way he is, as opposed to someone who has an influence from the studio, people who have really no attachment emotionally to the movie can go ahead and make decisions just because they're spending the money?
Well, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
If it was your money?
They do it to us.
Yeah, but
it does. It happens all the time, yeah.
No kidding. That's got to be terrible.
Of course, Harsh Times opens this weekend. Christian Bale, Eva Longoria, Freddie Rodriguez. Christian, Batman Begins was fantastic, and I know there are sequels coming up.
Dark Knight.
Yeah, we're going to be shooting The Dark Knight next year.
Now, the only guy in it so far that I know is like a villain is Heath Ledger is playing the Joker, right?
Right.
Has the rest of the cast been figured out yet, or?
Well, it's going to be the same director, Chris Nolan.
Thank goodness.
Coming back, and you know what? It's a funny thing with Batman. I feel like someone's gonna, like a sniper will appear on a rooftop somewhere if I talk too much about it. You know what I mean? I don't know how much.
I bet.
Fair enough.
I'm a little bit in the dark myself, I have to admit, right now, where I'm happy to be. I'm in very good hands with Chris Nolan, and he will let me know all I need to and look for my input when there's an appropriate time. But we like to keep it kind of secret.
Was that when you? And I don't blame you. When you did the first one, because obviously you were restarting a franchise that had been very successful. When the first. The first reincarnation, I guess, with Nicholson and Keaton came out, and then kind of drifted after that. You had to feel some pressure, though, as that movie's coming out and you're going into production, even though you're on the set and you can see that good things are happening. But if that failed, that's a movie where you're going to take a lot more heat than if you were just doing an original movie that didn't do so well at the box office.
That's true. But you don't really get into movies if if you think you're going to be onto a sure thing all the time. Every single movie that you do, no matter who's involved, no matter how much the budget is, whatever the hell the scenario is, it's always a risk. You know, you never know how it's going to turn out.
Absolutely, too.
Yeah.
Christian Bale, Harsh Times in theaters this weekend. Two great co-stars, two gorgeous co-stars. On The Prestige, you've got Scarlett Johansson. And then on this one, you've got Eva Longoria. And I'm guessing these are two women that obviously look great on television and great in movies, but look even better up close. True or false?
Let's say true. All right.
I was going to say, how's he going to answer that?
But I have to finish that off by saying there's no finer looking lady than my own wife. I've got to say that, okay? Because it's hand on my heart, the truth.
She's standing right there, isn't she?
And she ain't standing right there, but she does not need to be hearing this going out on national radio. You know?
You're absolutely right. Christian Bale.
Smart man.
We will, no wonder you're successful. He's going to be in Harsh Times this weekend. And it sounds like a great movie. We're looking forward to seeing it. And you've done some great work lately. So it's exciting to see you keeping getting good roles.
Thank you, man.
Thanks a bunch. Christian Bale, we appreciate it.
All right, cheers.
Good man. 1-800-947-3979. I think it sounds good.
I do too. How many people do you think are listening that thought to themselves, I didn't know he was British?
Zane, did you see the look on his face when we started? Zane was about to do that's not him. This is some British guy.
It's some guy pretending because Batman didn't have a British accent.
I have a hard time wrapping my hands around Brits who sound American. Like Gibson, like Mel Gibson, like they have
He's
that's
Australian.
Because
the British
he
accent.
didn't move to Australia till he was like 10, though.
Yeah.
So that's why he's so good at doing
like
it.
Russell Crowe,
accent.
though.
Yeah.
There you go.
The
accent, and then they sound. I had no idea. I had no clue.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose it's no different than one of us doing a British accent.
I know it.
Yeah, except we get all cartoony.
Right, cover you. Right, all right, pip, pip.